Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Fat Loss Basics. Thanks so much for joining. Today is late. This is just going to be the story of my life right now. It's just quite interesting. Oh, there goes my phone because I did not silence it. Just a second. Okay, there we go. So this last, I would say month, but definitely week and 10 days or so has been just hellacious. And it's been rough. And I feel like me, just like other people, feel like every time you feel like you get some steam or you get like a plan or you get the right momentum or all these things, something just life happens and something comes and knocks you right off your ass, takes you down. And so I was kind of going through some messages from my clients this morning on my way to the gym. And I ended up being a little bit late into the gym because I was having these really great conversations outside of that. But so I want to talk about a message that I got technically last week. But I was like listening to it, reverberating on it, and really wanted to chat today about how our beliefs that we don't even recall and memories and things that happen to us that we don't have any idea affect our weight loss journey, our fat loss journey, our getting healthy journey, whatever journey you're on, whatever that looks like for you. How do those things actually affect the process that we are going through? Because I'm going to tell you this. There's always going to be, well, not always, but when we are struggling, when we are having a hard time, knowing what to do and just needing to do it, there is a gap here, right? There is a gap that we can't figure out. There's a gap that we can't put our finger on. There's like, okay, I know what to do. I just don't know why I can't get consistent. I know what to do. I just not doing the things, right? And even though I have all these tools, even though I have a coach, even though I have all these resources, even though I know I just need to eat better and move my body a little bit, even if it's just very small things, right? Eat a little less out, eat a little more at home, eat a little bit more protein, drink some water, get some good sleep, and maybe go on a walk. Okay. These are not crazy, outrageous things, right? Partly why they're not very sexy, partly why they're not done because they're not very fun, if you will, right? But as I was listening to this particular client where she tends to ramble, which I love, guys. I love it when my clients just get on and they just start going, because typically when you start talking, you become a fucking word vomiter. And I love word vomiting because we end up hitting things like in the middle of this message, outside of everything that she actually messaged about itself, finally said these words that we haven't really dove into, that we haven't really uncovered. And while there's probably a part of me that's always believed that this is her belief pattern, because of her history and her past and things that she even does recall and remember of her memories of being a young person, a young girl. This finally was said out loud. It was like, boop, there it is. Right. And that's, I don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy of losing the weight. It's not, I don't have time. It's not, she's busy as shit, right? It's not, I don't know what to do. She has the tools. Hello, I eat outside of even me. She actually knows. She's very aware of what she should be doing. It's not, I'm too busy, even though she's fucking crazy busy. It's, I don't feel worthy. And if I had to take a guess, the majority of you that are listening that refuse to pull the trigger to either get into Diet Dropout Club or into Fat Loss Basics with me are feeling the same way when you really peel back the fucking onion and you get to the nitty gritty of, I know what to do, I just need to do it. What does that actually mean to you? Because yeah, it's like, I know what to do. There's this gap, there's this thing. What is the feeling that's there? Because I guarantee you when you start to uncover that feeling, it's going to change everything, because you're going to start to bring an awareness piece to yourself that you either haven't allowed yourself to have, allowed yourself to admit that you have. I did this podcast not that long ago about how I feel like I'm completely self-sabotaging myself because of this. Because, well, I lost all the weight and then I gained it back. So why would I already had it. What was in my grasp was already there. What was in my reach, I already achieved. So if I lost it, then why would I deserve to get it back? Like, who am I? As a coach maybe I shouldn't be, then you start second guessing everything. And then you start doing things that start to become this you start acting in an alignment with this belief that starts to becoming your belief. Even if it's real or reality, whether you really believe it or you're just like telling yourself that this is real or what you believe, right? And what we have to understand is that this belief that she has, that you have, whatever that might be, it didn't come from the fucking cloud up above and just get dropped down one day like a stork delivering a baby, okay? It didn't appear when she just decided one day she wanted to, get healthier, lose some fat, right? This belief was formed years, decades ago. Probably when she doesn't even recall. Probably when she has no recollection. And this is something that we talked about, right? Yes, she has memories of things that she had spoken out loud to me that she recalls as a child happening to her to get her healthy or to lose weight or things that her environment forced upon her, okay? She had these things. But I guarantee you, even before that, even prior to that, where she has no recollection, no exact memories, things were done, things were said, things were given, things that she has no recollection, right? Because this is not just a thought that she's having. This is not just something that she's like, I don't believe I'm worthy. I don't believe I'm worthy. It's literally wired into her nervous system. It is wired into her DNA. It is wired into her brain. It is wired into her cells. Right? And so when we're talking, it's like, if you don't believe this, if you don't believe you're worthy of having it, you're never going to have it. You are never going to be able to unchange, or I should say unchange, to change or unwire or rewire this belief system. We have to poke that bear. We have to really sit in. Why? Well, no wonder why. As she's spouting off like the things that she can remember, I can only imagine what she doesn't know, what she doesn't recall, what literally her brain is probably blocking even some of what she did have like a memory of at some point in her life. It's probably blocking this protected system for her, right? It's probably blocking those memories out. Okay. So typically, when you're a child, the first 7 to 10 years of your life, your brain is like a ginormous sponge. It's like literally, like when you think about how much a baby changes from the time they're a newborn to 6 months and 6 months to a year, and then from like a newborn to 24 months. I mean, we are literally having like lifetimes of change. I mean, we are going from cannot feed ourselves, cannot pee on our own, have to change a diaper, cannot walk, cannot move, cannot do anything, cannot burp ourselves. We cannot talk. We cannot speak for ourselves. We cannot do anything for ourselves. We are literally this little pile of skin and bones and cuteness that we are completely solely dependent upon somebody for our health. By the time we hit the age of 2, right? Majority of us can walk. Some of us can go to the bathroom on our own and wipe our own butt. We can feed ourselves. We can start talking. We can talk for ourselves. We can say things. We're becoming like who we are. Our personality is starting to evolve and to change and to embed. But all those things that happen up until 2 years old, that everybody, you understand that. Like, even though you don't recall it, you have experienced it. You have experienced this. And so all of these beliefs that you're forming about yourself and that you have are based upon your experiences, right? You're absorbing everything, every message, every interaction, every experience, whether it's good or whether it's not good. This is why a lot of people even have like newborn, like even being birthed, you can have a traumatic experience and the baby remembers, the body remembers. Okay. I think that's like one of the key pieces of my daughter's like ginormo migraines that she's gotten is we had a traumatic birth experience. So of course, like something's got to be not right. And the amount of headaches that she has when everything's quote unquote fine and normal and everything looks good. There's a reason why these headaches are happening. Right. So nothing is a coincidence. There's a reason. There's a reason for everything. But we oftentimes don't remember. Most of us don't remember. Like my daughter does not remember being birthed. She doesn't understand the traumatic experience that she had. And for most of us, up until the age of maybe 4, even 5 years old, we don't remember any of those things. But these beliefs get stored in your memory. And in the particular memory section that this gets stored in, it doesn't have a timestamp. You don't like pull it out of a drawer and be like, in 2nd grade, I learned how to do addition of multiple numbers. I don't know. I don't even know what they learned in 2nd grade. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you can kind of get an idea. Like I kind of remember in 3rd and 4th grade, like starting to learn division. I kind of remember like where I wrote my first paper. Those kinds of things. So we have specific memories where we can actually timestamp it, be like, okay, I have an idea of where and when this happened, versus where you don't remember at all where it came from. You have no idea when it happened. You just believe it because it feels true. And so when my client says she doesn't feel worthy, she's not pulling from a specific memory. Number one, she's pulling from many specific memories, and also pulling from many memories she does not recall. Many of them where she doesn't remember, that's telling her, when I learned this, it made me feel this way. She doesn't recall all of them. Some of them she might, a lot of them she doesn't or won't. Right? It's just wired into the nervous system. It's like the background operating system on, like you would have on a computer where you have, like me, 47,000 tabs open, and it's just on repeat. It's just constantly running in the back. So let's talk about some of the messages that you might have received from people, from experiences, from society, from culture, from the media, especially nowadays, right? So particularly from your like home base environment. So I would say your parents, siblings, people who are very close to you, right? Maybe you have heard before, you need to lose weight. You'd be so pretty if you just, or yeah, you're so pretty, but right? Or why can't you be more like your sister or your brother? Or you're too much, you're too loud, you're too sensitive. If you're going to cry, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Or stop eating so much. Are you really going to eat that? I don't think you need more. These are just some things that are being said or have been told to you. Or maybe you're hearing them to other people, and then you're start questioning, should I be eating this? Do I need to lose weight? If they say that about that person, what do they think about me? So sometimes it's just your environment that you're in. You don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be said to you. But if there's somebody that you love and that you trust that is literally talking about like this to somebody else, well, what does that say about me? Well, if I look like them and they're saying that to them, do they feel that same way about me? Right? So from early childhood experiences that you might have been bullied about your body, being picked last in the gym class. Hello, that's me. Feeling like you didn't fit in. Hello, that's me. Being told you're the big one or the chunky one. Hello, that's me again. Or maybe you watched your mom diet your entire fucking life and hear her talk about herself in disgusting ways, about how she hated a body, about how she was fat, or numerous amounts of other things. Okay. And then of course, on the culture side, on the social media side of things, on the life side, outside of your home base, right? Maybe you're seeing, like in my days, it was 17 magazine and Victoria's Secret. So maybe you're seeing these specific types of bodies encouraged, or what's the word I'm looking for? The word I'm looking for is like accepted, but that's not even it. Like desired. There we go. Whew. You're only seeing like specific bodies that are desired. Like I want my person to look this way. Like that guy must like that kind of person because look who he's dating. Super simple, right? I picked that up very quickly at a very young age. Only seeing thin people fall in love, quote unquote, thin or small people get the job or be the hero. Learning that your worth is tied to how you look. And then learning that you have to earn your love, right? So all of these messages doesn't have to be necessarily that they were spoken directly to you. They could have been just observed observed and then absorbed through the observation. So again, watching somebody else talk as somebody else or looking at what people are desiring body-wise, right? That gets wired into your nervous system. I grew up in a time where it was Victoria's Secret Angels, Cindy Crawford, Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. These were the people. And you want to know what? I didn't look a motherfucking thing like them. Not one motherfucking thing like them. I didn't look one fucking thing like them. What do you think that taught me? That I am not desirable, that nobody's going to love me because I don't look like that. That's the reality. Okay. And so this belief gets creative, like I'm not worthy unless I look like this, unless I'm smaller, unless I'm different, or it's just, I'm just not worthy. Like this, there is no space for me here. Like this is not my place. Right. So remember when I said, she might not even remember some of these memories because the nervous system, the brain, is going to put up a wall, and it's going to put up a wall to block things that you don't like or that feel unsafe, because that's your job. That's its job, is to keep you safe. So it's going to tell your brain's going to go, I don't feel safe. And your body's going to go, I don't feel safe. Right. And so when you're a kid, your nervous system learns what's safe based on your environment, what's around you. If being praised means being smaller, that's what your nervous system learns. Smaller equals safe. If being criticized means that you're bigger, then your nervous system learns bigger equals unsafe. If you're watching and observing like this equals that, well, then your brain is going to make an assumption and go, this equals that, whether it's true or whether it's not true. Right? Now, when you hear me talk about like the people that were desired back in the day, again, I'll go back to Victoria's Secret Angels, Cindy Crawford, Kelly Kapowski, Kids in Magazine. Oh, what was that one girl? Alicia Silverstone. All of these girls, right? And I don't look like them. What kind of assumption or what kind of conclusion did my brain come to? Notice that I could not name you really a quote unquote heavier set desired woman back in the 90s. There were none. Like the one person that's coming to mind is Oprah. And even Oprah always struggled with her weight and now is doing all sorts of dumbass bullshit and saying a bunch of bullshit that's not true and not scientific. And she's still how old is she now? Still fucking struggling because she's never getting to the root cause of why. So she has some clear issues. I mean, and being in Hollywood, of course. I guess the whole point that I'm making is like, you never saw heavier set women desired. We have the whole like body positivity movement. Don't totally agree with it. I'm just going to say, I don't totally agree with it. I think that you can love yourself as you are, but that doesn't make you a healthy person. That's just a reality, right? Okay. So I'm just going to move on from that. But anyways, if love and approval were conditional on your behavior, on your appearance, or on your achievements, this is what your nervous system learns. I have to earn this. I have to earn my worth. I have to earn feeling desired. And then these patterns get stored in your body, inside of your cells, inside of your brain, inside of all the pieces of you. And it's not just a thought. This is not just like I'm not worthy, right? And this is why you logically know you're worthy and still don't feel that way. I mean, we're talking about a mom of 4 who runs a house and runs her own business. Hi, she's definitely worthy of feeling great in her body. She is definitely worthy of feeling like she doesn't have to feel like ass every single day. That she can have the energy she needs to raise her children, that she is a confident woman so that she can be confident to be a role model for her children. She's worthy of all those. She does not feel that way. So even though logically you're like, well, why can't I have that thing? Well, because you don't feel like you can have it, right? And this is not just a brain problem. This is literally on a cellular level. It's the nervous system. And your nervous system is what's always running on in the background, just like a computer. So even when you're not like consciously aware of your patterns and habits and thoughts and things, they're constantly running. They don't stop. They're just there in the background, right? So how does this feel? How does I don't feel worthy show up when we're talking about specifically fat loss? Okay. There's a multitude of ways that I've seen it pop through. The first way is right before you have a really big breakthrough you typically do some shit. Right? So maybe you have been making progress. Maybe you're getting a little bit closer to your goal. And then all of a sudden you're just like, no, I don't feel like it. Or you allow these excuses to come up that hadn't been before. You stop doing the things that you were consistent with. This is where I kind of feel like I am, where it's like, I feel like I'm right on the brink. If I just didn't stop, if I just kept going, right? This is something I'm currently working through myself. Because then I become inconsistent and then I make choices that don't align with things, right? So typically right before you have this big thing, all of a sudden you put the brakes on, you're like, nope. And that's because your nervous system doesn't believe that you're worthy of it, right? So now if you're not worthy of it, you can't have it. So it's going to say, hey, put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. Another way I see it come through is, this is one I've already mentioned here. You know the things to do. You just need to do it. You know the things to do. You just need to do it. You know what to do. You have the knowledge. You got the tools, but you don't. And it's not because you're lazy or because you lack discipline. It's because doing those things mean you actually might get there. And if you get there, you have to face that actual fear head on of, I'm not worthy. And so guess what? It's safer. Let's not do it. Let's just not do it. This is where my client is right here. She knows what to do. There's a gap of doing and knowing. She is stuck here. And that's because we have to start poking at this spot that's really uncomfortable of, why do you feel unworthy? How did you get here? What does this mean about you? How do we rewire the brain and move on? And not just like move on and like get over it, but like move forward. Okay. Another way here is like, you make choices that keep you stuck. So you don't always eat the way that you are supposed to or in a line. I say supposed to, but because when you are trying to lose fat, there is a specific way you should be eating. But you don't do things that align with your goals is how I typically word that. You skip your workouts. You don't prioritize yourself. You're not going to bed on time. You're walking around like a dehydrated bitch. And on the surface, it looks like, I just can't stick to this. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But underneath all of that, you're stuck, and you feel stuck because I like this feeling. This feeling feels familiar, and this is safe for me. This is safe for me. Okay. So on the outside of things, it does appear, right? My client wants to do this. She wants to do this. She's setting all these tasks and all these things, but she's not being consistent. Right? She's not doing the things, everything, and being consistent with those things. And when I asked her why, and she said, I don't feel worthy, that statement, that's the problem. It's not our macros. It's not the fact that she won't track her food. It's not the fact that she's not getting X amount of steps. It has nothing to do with that. It's the belief that she doesn't feel worthy of it. Right? And until we can address that sole specific thing, she's got to see it. She's got to name it. We got to start attacking it. Essentially, it doesn't matter. She's just going to keep self-sabotaging. She's going to keep making choices that keep her in a pattern that is stuck. And not because she wants to be there, but because her nervous system says, hey, anything outside of this, we don't like that. And because we don't like that, we're not doing it. That's what we're doing. That I'm going to keep you safe. The biggest thing that I really want you to take away from this whole entire podcast is, if you have this belief, if you feel like, hey, I don't feel worthy of it, I don't deserve this, somewhere in your life, there's been it's not one experience, but multitude of experiences that have made you feel this way. Typically not stemming from yourself, coming from, again, your environment, social media, your home base of people, which makes it not our fault. It makes it not your fault. It makes it not like you didn't cause yourself to behave in this way or to have these patterns, right? You didn't choose it. You didn't wake up one day and just be like, I'm not worthy today. Yeah, right? This was wired to you or wired into you when you were a child by experiences you probably don't know, by messages you observed and then absorbed without ever knowing it. So it's not your fault that the belief exists, but it is your responsibility to change it, because nobody else can do this. I can help my client do what I can to rewire this belief that she has about herself. But at the end of the day, It's all internal. She has to have the look in the mirror with herself and have this conversation. And it's a hard fucking conversation. I cannot save her from herself. Even a therapist, because that's definitely a route to go, cannot save you from yourself. You still have to fucking do it. Right? Only you can do that. And if you don't do the work to rewire this belief, nothing changes. You're going to keep running these same patterns, making the same choices, and sabotaging yourself the same way, not because you want to, but because that's what you know. So what does it take to rewire? Well, cool thing about this is that nothing in your nervous system is permanent. Everything can change. Everything can be fluid. Things are not set in stone. They're patterns. And because they're patterns, we can change them. It does require work. It requires awareness. Phase 1 of the diet dropout method. Phase 1. I repeat, phase 1. Right? It requires changing the belief, and it requires proving to your nervous system that, hey, it is okay to feel deserving of this. It is okay to feel worthy. It is okay to be successful. Okay? It is okay and safe to feel good in your body. And that requires consistency, not with food or with workouts, but with the internal work. It's every single time we have that thought or that feeling of I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this. You gotta start poking back at it. Right? When my kids challenge me, I challenge back. Right? If you're a parent, maybe you could understand this. Every single time you want to sabotage yourself, you have to stop. Why? Why am I doing this? When you make a choice that doesn't align, what is driving this? This is the work, and it's a lot fucking harder than tracking your food and hitting your steps and getting in your workout and drinking your water and all these things. But if you don't do it, nothing else matters, because you can have the perfect meal plan, the fucking perfect workout program, the fucking perfect coach. I eat meat. No, just kidding. But if your nervous system believes you don't get it, you're not worthy of it, you can't be successful, you don't deserve it, it doesn't matter. The bigger piece about what we talked about, and I want to really just touch on this briefly, is what are you passing down to your children? So this particular client has children, and I had I had young children at the time I started my journey. The problem becomes that if you cannot change this pattern yourself, it will go to the kids. You will pass it on. And even though we, quote unquote, aren't trying to, and we are aware of some of the things that we're doing, there is a lot of times that they're still watching you and you have no idea what they're seeing, what they're observing, and then absorbing. They're watching how you talk to your body. They watch how you treat yourself. They watch if you prioritize yourself and put yourself last. They watch if you are a promise keeper. Do you follow the fuck through? Do you say, or do you do what you say you're going to do? Are you reliable? Are you accountable? Okay. They are absorbing and watching all of this, just like you absorbed it from your home base and your environment and in the culture and the social media around us. They are absorbing this. So if you don't feel worthy, they're learning that maybe they aren't either. Okay. It's literally what I told her was, if you don't feel worthy, how do your kids expect to feel? And that's hard to say, because the biggest push for me to get healthy was my kids. The biggest push for me to get healthy was my kids. I did not want my daughter to feel like me. I did not want my daughter to feel like me. I did not want my daughter to feel like me. I look at my kid walk around so comfortable in her skin and so comfortable in her body. Not that she thinks like she's this like cat's meow or anything else. She doesn't know, like, it's not a big deal. Like, her body is not a huge topic of conversation for us. And I'm glad. I'm so glad. So that was a big driving force for me. But this was the question I posed. If you cannot be worthy of it or feel worthy of it yourself, how does your family feel? How is their worth? Okay. So the bottom line here, ladies, is if you don't address this, problem, whether it's I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it, or I it's not for me, or I'm broken, or whatever fucking belief that you continue to tell yourself that keeps you stuck, it doesn't matter. You can hire every fucking coach on the planet. You can try every fucking program in the world. You can have all the knowledge, but if your nervous system says it ain't it, you're just going to keep struggling. You're going to ride that fucking struggle bus. And this is the work to be done, not the meal plan, not the perfect workouts, not the tracking. It's the internal work, the work of the belief that you believe about yourself and nervous system. And it's hard and fucking uncomfortable, and you want to avoid it. It's going to feel like ick. You're going to want to run away from it, but don't. If you do, you will stay stuck. So the question is, are you going to do the hard work? If you sit here and you can tell me, I know what to do, I just need to do it, you need to fucking poke the bear. You need to fucking poke the bear. Hibernation season, we're ending, ladies. Hibernation, we're in March. Some of you, I'm going to do all these things, and we're in March and you ain't done one fucking thing yet. One fucking thing. Poke the bear. Poke it. Poke it, poke it, poke it, poke it. So you can join the Diet Dropout Club, okay? In this space, we will be doing all sorts of things. We're currently moving to March Challenge. After this, we will be doing our masterclass. This is going to be built around food noise. That was what the feedback I got was. So excited about that. And if you are struggling with this, I continuously feel this way, or, I'm not sure. I know what to do. I just need to do it. This is what we are working through. This is what we are working on. So whether that's you join Fat Loss Basics group coaching, or where you're going to get a lot more support, or even just dip your toe in the water a little bit with the Diet Dropout Club, both links are in the show notes, and let's get you in. Okay. Alrighty. This is a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I hope you guys got something from it. Give me some feedback. Hit me up on socials. I cannot wait to, we are done at the end of this week with a club swim. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine saying that out loud again. Hopefully we'll get my husband's work vehicle. So hopefully things are going to move and trend in the direction for me. So I can also stop feeling this way and so ran down and overwhelmed and feeling very heavy, so that I can stop self-sabotaging my own self. So, all right, you guys, I'd love to do that with you. So if you are ready, let's go, and I will catch you on the next episode.